Still on insecurity, we have in the studio Captain Bish Johnson, a retired U.S. Army captain and a national defense and security strategist. Welcome to NewsHour. Well, let's take the most important part of this conversation with you tonight, which is basically that Nigerians are worried about the boldness of bandits in recent times. For example, the Kaduna train attack was one of those eye-openers. Do you agree that government has not shown the political will to stem the tide of insecurity?
Obviously, the end justifies the means. You can see that these bandits or terrorists or whatever you want to call them have become more emboldened. And the reason why they have become so emboldened is because when this problem began, the federal government was treating it with and so running around, giving out a ransom, and that became an incentive, and that led to that problem becoming like a commercial enterprise where people are making a lot of fortune out of other people's misfortune. And so we are at a cross point now where they have become so emboldened that they can take on to deal with the situation. You can see what happened in New York with the shooting at the substation in New York. It took less than 48 hours to get the man responsible for those shooting. In this instance, up till now, we have not heard from the federal government how many people has been arrested, who is responsible, and who is going to get prosecuted and stuff like that. So they have serious deterrent way to deter people, particularly criminals, is to get them apprehended, prosecute them, send them to prison, and that would be
In the meantime, the military has expressed concern about tracking the financing of these bandits or terrorist groups. Where should we be looking?
well, if the military wants to look on the financing of those who are financing these bandits, they need to equally look at who is actually paying the ransom. You cannot be paying criminals ransom and you don't expect that more and more people will be joining. And more people are joining because, like I said earlier, it's a commercial enterprise. They need to look at who is paying them ransom. And they need to figure out whether there's a part of our government that have been paying these people ransom. Because I don't think the ransom that have been paid to these bandits are coming from individuals. I am suspecting that there is an element in our government that is been paying this ransom. And so if military is for banditry, and you will see that by the time you shut down the incentives, make arrests and prosecute, they will go away.
With a huge investment in military hardware, do you agree that we should be getting better results from security agencies than we are getting now?
Ask for, ask for his or her report card. And the reason why you look for a report card is so that you see how the individual has performed. I don't think that the money we have invested in our security sector, we are getting the dividends. See the insecurity everywhere. I believe the military funding them appropriately, also the security agencies. But even the little that is being spent in security, a lot of them go into private pockets. And so the money that is actually there to carry out the legitimate operations of the various security agencies is left far too thin, and that's why you see them struggling. So this thing has to be like a broad, holistic approach where we look at everywhere our monies are going. Um, but so far, I can
So let's not get emotional and look at dispassionately government's assurances over the last couple of days that there will be a change in the days and weeks to come. We've heard that for a while now. What has changed that should make us now believe that this is about to happen?
It's not going to happen. It's an empty promise. We've been hearing all these promises over the last 7 years, and the situation keeps getting worse and worse. Some of all these promises and assurances are pointless. They're useless because at the end of the day, nothing changes. I don't think anything is changing, and I believe that nothing is going to change. It's quite unfortunately that as far as this administration is concerned, I'm not trying to heap all the blames on this particular administration. I know these security challenges have been there even before the administration came on board and even before the one before this administration, because this country has failed to make the critical investments that are required in terms of building infrastructures and institutions of government that will be effective and efficient. And so because of that, we're paying the price now. But having said that, we've had so much assurances and promises from the current government, and nothing has changed. It didn't change 4 years ago. It didn't change 3 years ago. It's not going to change now. So nothing is going to change. I believe that the insecurity we have in this country, quite unfortunate.
I want to thank you so very much, Captain Bish Johnson. Thank you for joining us on News Hour.